Chapter 13, Titan Protocol. Darrell woke to the sound of something breaking. Not metal. Not architecture. Not even corrupted geometry. Something worse. A heartbeat. His heartbeat. It echoed through his helmet, deep and uneven, like a drum being struck out of rhythm. His vision was a smear of colors, green, red, blue, blending into an endless wash of motion. Shapes flickered. Voices blurred. The world swam. Then a voice cracked through the haze. Darrell. Hey, focus. Raymond. Darrell blinked hard, and the world snapped back into painful clarity. They were barely standing, on a narrow chunk of floating geometry drifting toward the massive gateway revealed by the collapse of the behemoth. Al and Lucio struggled to stabilize the platform with golden anchors, while Raymond held Darrell upright with an arm slung under his shoulders. Darrell's suit flickered. His overclock conduits pulsed violently, without rhythm or control. Lucio scanned him. He's destabilizing. The overclock backlash is hitting his neural link. Darrell forced out a whisper. How long? 7 minutes since the blast, Al answered, tightening another golden brace across the platform's edge. You were unconscious. Again. Raymond added humorlessly, try not to make it a habit. Darrell tried to stand on his own. His knees buckled instantly. Raymond caught him again. Easy, man. You're running on fumes. Lucio shook his head. Not just fumes. He's burning from the inside out. Darrell felt it. Every nerve was hot. Not like fire. Like electricity. Too much of it. His overclock hadn't shut off properly. The energy from their combined blast in the previous battle had overcharged his conduits beyond safe tolerance. His suit was trying to regulate it, but there was too much corruption in the air. Too much proximity to the Overlord. Al knelt in front of him, examining the flickering cracks in Darrell's armor. The overclock is reacting to the Overlord's presence. It's like resonance. Harmony in reverse. Raymond frowned. Meaning? Al looked up, face pale. It means Darrell's overlock is being pulled toward it. Like gravity. Lucio's voice dropped. Which means we have 2 problems. Darrell groaned. Only 2. Lucio pointed toward the massive gateway ahead. The light inside it pulsed with red intensity, each pulse a shockwave through the air. That gateway is the entrance to the Overlord's core chamber. Raymond gripped Darrell's shoulder. And problem 2? Lucio hesitated. Then said the words no one was ready to hear. The Overlord knows exactly where we are. The domain shifts. A violent tremor rippled through the void. Architecture fragments shattered. Rivers of corrupted code surged upward, spiraling into the air like streams reversing direction. The gateway began to widen. Red lightning stabbed outward from its edges. A low, guttural roar shook the entire domain, a sound felt more than heard. As if something enormous was stretching for the first time in centuries. Darrell clenched his jaw. He knew that sound. The Overlord was waking. Al shouted, we have to move, now. Raymond lifted Darrell onto his shoulders. Come on, big guy. On your feet. Darrell shoved him off weakly. I can walk. He couldn't. He barely managed 2 steps before collapsing to one knee again. Lucio grabbed his arm. Darrell, stop. You're tearing your neural link apart. Darrell forced his head up. If I stop now, we lose. Raymond clenched his fists. Then let us handle it. No. Darrell's voice steadied. I saw it when we hit that blast together. I felt the Overlord. It's tied to the overclock. If anything gets close to that core without enough power, it will kill you instantly. Al's visor brightened. Darrell, what are you saying? Darrell rose slowly, painfully onto his feet. My overclock, it's the only thing that can survive inside that chamber. Lucio shook his head violently. No. You barely survived the lockdown. You barely survived the emergence fight. You cannot go alone. I won't be alone. He looked at them with fierce determination. You'll be right behind me. Holding the line. Raymond froze. Understanding hit him first. Oh hell no. You're not triggering that thing. Al whispered, trembling, Darrell. Titan protocol is forbidden. Lucio added, it's not a protocol, it's a shutdown switch. You'll burn yourself alive. Darrell stared into the swirling red depths of the gateway. The Overlord isn't some phantom variant. It's a monster. A system killer. If we walk in there with normal output, we die. Raymond grabbed him by the chest plate. And if you walk in there with Titan, what then? You think we'll watch you die? Darrell looked him dead in the eyes. I think you'll let me do my job. Raymond's grip trembled. He didn't let go. Darrell spoke softer now. Ray, we don't get to choose what we're built for. You run through walls. Al rebuilds broken worlds. Lucio sees truth in chaos. He placed a hand weakly over Raymond's fists. And me? I hold the line. Even when it breaks me. Raymond's throat tightened. That's not fair. That's not, it's reality. Al whispered, Darrell, please. Darrell smiled sadly. I'm the only one who can withstand the Overlord's core hard enough to make a hole for you. Lucio stared down at the platform. Titan protocol devours neural signals. It rewrites motor output. You'll lose control of your limbs. Your body won't even feel like yours. Darrell nodded. I know. Raymond's voice cracked. And you'll die. Darrell hesitated. Then answered honestly. Maybe. Another roar tore through the domain. Red shadows spilled from the gateway, dozens of new phantoms rising, forming ranks like soldiers preparing for war. Lucio whispered urgently, we don't have time. Darrell looked at each of them one last time. Don't remember me for the fights I won. He took a trembling step toward the gateway. Remember me for the ones I didn't run from. Al reached out, but stopped halfway. Lucio lowered his head. Raymond turned away, fists clenched so hard they shook. Darrell raised his arms. Green overlock energy began swirling around him. Slowly at first. Then violently. The cracks in his armor flared with burning light. The overclock conduits pulsed like veins awakening. His visor flickered, the HUD rewriting itself to support the protocol he was about to trigger. Al shouted, Darrell. Once you start it, you can't stop. Darrell nodded. That's the point. He slammed both fists together. The green light surged outward. And his voice roared across the entire domain, Titan Protocol, engage. The transformation. The overclock didn't activate. It detonated. A shockwave of green energy burst outward, throwing Raymond, Lucio, and Al off their feet. The entire platform shook violently as Darrell's armor expanded, reconfiguring in real time. Massive plates unfolded from his back and shoulders. Thick armored bracers locked into place along his arms. Glowing green conduits snaked across his chest in spirals, pulsing like arteries feeding energy directly into the suit. His silhouette doubled. Tripled. Lucio watched in awe. He's growing. Al whispered, he's overriding every safety limiter. Every neural governor. That suit wasn't designed to contain this much power. Raymond crawled to his knees, eyes widening. He looks like Lucio finished the sentence. A Titan. Darrell rose higher. And higher. Until he stood 3 times his normal height, an armored giant of blazing green light, towering over the battlefield, energy erupting from every seam. His voice echoed like thunder through the domain. Overlord, green flames erupted around him. I'm coming for you. The gateway roared in response. Phantoms surged toward him like a wave. Darrell braced. And charged. The Titan enters the war. Phantoms leapt at him, claws extended. Darrell didn't dodge. He stomped. The shockwave blasted dozens apart instantly. He grabbed 2 more midair and crushed them like brittle glass, corrupted shards raining down around him. The swarm thickened. Darrell roared and unleashed a sweeping backhand strike that sent a wave of green energy ripping across the void, vaporizing everything in its path. Raymond whispered, holy, he's unstoppable. Al shook his head. No one is unstoppable. The Titan protocol drains exponentially. Every second he fights is one he can't afford. Lucio watched with quiet terror. That's why he's fighting like he wants to end it fast. Darrell plowed forward, smashing through hordes of phantoms like a living avalanche of power. The green energy around him flared brighter with each strike, but his movements grew harsher, less precise. Raymond saw it too. He's losing control. Titan's taking over. Lucio shouted, Darrell. Can you hear us? Darrell didn't respond. He didn't need to. He reached the gateway. Green light gathered in his chest. He lowered his stance. And with a roar that shook the entire domain, he plowed straight into the Overlord's chamber alone. Behind him, the phantoms surged again. Raymond stood tall. Al summoned his golden shield. Lucio readied his code pulses. Raymond yelled, "We hold the door." Lucio nodded. For Darrell. Al added, "For all of us." And as the Titan disappeared into the blinding red depths of the Overlord's core, the war truly began.